Saying goodbye to my daughter because I'm passing away. I have nothing to leave her but a chosen family and my love. After getting a terminal diagnosis, losing my job, and facing my own failings, I try to make sure my little girl won't be left alone in the world. Can I trust a friend to become her new mom? I found out last week I'm dying. Stage 4 lung cancer, months to live. The dumb part is, I can't even be surprised. I started smoking at 15 and ramped up to 3 packs a day in recent years. Still, I always thought there would be more time. Please don't feel sorry for me. My life hasn't been remarkable, except for my 3-year-old daughter, Riley. That's the only thing I ever did right. There's no family to count on. I grew up in the foster care system, aged out at 18, and have been on my own ever since. Riley's father is in prison for crimes so serious that even if he ever got out, which is unlikely, he could never be around her. It's just been me and Riley in a cramped apartment in a rough part of town, making do with whatever we have. While I work, I leave her with Mrs. Franklin, our elderly neighbor, who always calls her Reba instead of Riley. She means well, but it just reminds me how little support we really have. I don't want Riley to repeat my mistakes. I don't want her growing up bouncing between foster families, feeling like she doesn't belong to anyone. That's why the big question is burning a hole in my heart. Who will take care of her when I'm gone? I do have someone in mind, my friend and coworker, Monica. She's one of my closest friends, and honestly, a total powerhouse at work. She and her husband David are the kind of people I always wished I could be. Stable, successful, loving. They have a son, Jacob, who's 6. Here's the problem. Monica and her family are black, and Riley and I are about as pale as it gets, blue-eyed, burn if you sit in the sun for 10 minutes white. I'm terrified to even ask Monica to take Riley, and not for some racist reason. It's because I know, from my own time in foster care, what kind of cruelty and stares transracial families sometimes face, especially in less diverse neighborhoods. I keep thinking, what am I handing to Monica if I ask her to adopt my white child? Is it fair? And if I don't ask, am I dooming Riley to the childhood I fought so hard to escape? Otherwise, Riley gets dumped back into the system, just another kid, just another case file, with nothing to her name but $1,000 in my will and my mom's old necklace. I'm torn between swallowing my fears and asking Monica to help, or just killing myself working extra shifts to try to leave Riley a bigger cushion. Either way, it feels like I'm failing her already, failing her as a mother, just when she needs me most. Edit. I reached out to Monica, and we scheduled a quick breakfast at a little corner bakery. I'm going to ask her to adopt Riley. If she says no, at least I'll know in time to reach out to an adoption agency. Thanks for the support, everyone. Update 1. Okay, that breakfast was yesterday. I met Monica before work. I hadn't told her about my diagnosis yet. Nobody at work knows. When I finally said it out loud, she just hugged me so hard I nearly broke. I told her everything. About Riley. About how I don't want her in foster care. About how the only family she's got is me, and I'm running out of time. Monica was shocked. She listened, then said she couldn't answer me on the spot. She told me she'd always wanted a daughter. Her second pregnancy ended with complications, details too private for me to share, but enough to change how things were supposed to be. She promised to talk with David before giving me an answer. I told her I understood. This would be a huge change for their family. After breakfast, she held me until I finally let myself cry. That night, I started planning for Riley in other ways, just in case. Someone online suggested making an email account for Riley and sending her videos for future birthdays, holidays, and big life moments. Her prom, her first job, her first heartbreak. I thought it was a great idea. I started recording bits for her. I realized most of what I wanted to say was, don't do what I did. Not the message I hoped. I want to give her hope, not just warnings. Monica called me a few days later. She and David had talked. They do this thing where they discuss big decisions, then let them sit for a few days. If they're both still on board, they know it's the right choice. She made it clear, this isn't a yes yet. They don't really know Riley. David and Jacob haven't even met her except through the handful of stories Monica has shared. Here's their plan. For the rest of the month, I drop Riley off at their house 2 hours earlier than usual. David works from home and will watch her. That way, David and Jacob can get to know her too. Monica said I'm invited to spend Christmas with them as a family. When I picked up Riley that first evening, she was grinning ear to ear, happier than she'd been in months. David told me she was nervous at first, but by day 2, they were already seeing progress. There's always this fear in the back of my mind that all of this is for nothing, that Monica's family will say no. But even if they do, at least Riley is making memories in a better house with more love around her. That's worth something, right? Comment from user Playeva, sending you so much love, sweetheart. I hope you and your little girl find peace, no matter what happens. For your videos, make some backups. You never know if the email will get deleted. Me, thank you. I'll try to back up everything. If Monica says yes, I'll make sure she knows how to keep the account open too. Comment from user Dark Recess. As a mom, I'm proud of you. Handwrite recipes. Tell her your favorite memories, favorite colors, things like that. She'll treasure your handwriting. Me, that's a beautiful idea. I'll write a letter to Riley for her 13th birthday about her grandmother's necklace. And I'll definitely write down my recipes. She loves my egg salad sandwiches. Update 2. Monica's family gave me their answer and I lost my job. January 20th, 2024. I'm back again. Probably for the last time. Sorry for disappearing. Things got tough. Days after Christmas, I got seriously sick. Coughing blood, chest pains like a sledgehammer. Monica rushed me to the hospital. The test results were clear. It was just my cancer getting worse, not a new infection, which was a bittersweet relief. Still, when I got back to work, my boss called me in. Remember how I said I'd be the first to go if layoffs hit? Well, it happened. Management told me point blank they couldn't keep me on while I was this sick, that it wasn't fair to my coworkers to pick up my slack. I know I've been slow, but after all these years, it just felt like another place I didn't belong. I was barely scraping by. Rent, utilities, groceries, train fare, medical bills. I didn't know what to do. Monica stepped up. After a month of Riley spending her mornings at their house and a wonderful Christmas together, seriously, 5 Christmas trees, she and David sat me down and said yes, they want to adopt Riley. Monica started sharing her plans for Riley's bedroom, for vacations and birthdays, all the things I never thought my daughter would get. That's when I broke down and told her about the layoff. I said maybe Riley should move in with them immediately for stability. Monica wouldn't hear of me being alone. She offered her guest room for me to move in, too, so I could help Riley adjust, as long as I was able. I tried to say no, but she insisted. They could use my help with decorating Riley's room, and David could use the support while working from home. I saw it wasn't pity. They genuinely wanted me there, for as long as I had left. Best part, Monica's family has a personal lawyer. We got every form and document ready for the adoption as soon as I'm gone. Christmas at their house was the happiest day in Riley's life. Thanks to Monica, I gave my daughter a Build-A-Bear bunny with a voice message inside saying how much I love her, how I'll always try to keep her safe. Monica knows all about the email videos, and I've given her the passwords to both the email and this Reddit account, so she can delete everything when I go. I have to mention this. My story made its way to TikTok. Suddenly, strangers are messaging every day, some offering money, some offering to adopt Riley if things don't work out with Monica. I'm grateful, but please don't send money. I've always worked for what I have, and it just feels wrong to accept money from strangers just because I'm dying. If you want to help, foster kids in your state are desperate for love. Give them the life I couldn't have. Some people messaged me calling me racist for worrying about race. It's not about thinking Monica's family isn't good enough. It's about how foster kids of color told me the world treats them differently when their family doesn't match. Some endured cruelty from strangers, racist slurs, violence, all things I don't want Riley or Monica's family to endure. But at the end of the day, I can't let prejudice keep Riley from having a loving home. So this is it for me here. I want to spend what days I have painting, making something to leave behind, like that book we read in high school, where the message is you haven't wasted your life if you leave something behind. If it's a painting, a recipe, a letter, it's enough. Thanks to everyone for your kindness. Goodbye. Additional info. Riley's father is in prison for a long time. His crime involved a child, so even if he got out, the courts would never let him near her. Not that I would want that anyway. My parents are both gone. This story ends right here. This story highlights the tough decisions people face when dealing with terminal illness and the future of their children. It's a raw look at how love, friendship, and sacrifice can come together, even in the worst of times. I've got a question for you. What would you do if you had to trust your child's future to someone else? Would you risk family, race, or comfort for their happiness? Share your thoughts in the comments.